From Upper Michigan's trusted news source, your TV6 Morning News begins with breaking news coverage.
That's right. Thanks for joining us on this Wednesday morning. We have breaking news from overnight. The state of Hawaii is bracing for a potential tsunami. Officials are believing it could cause heavy damage along the coastline of all of the state's islands.
Evacuations have been underway since yesterday afternoon, ever since a massive 8.8 magnitude earthquake hit off the coast of Russia. We've been keeping a close eye on the situation throughout the night. Conditions are mostly calm right now, with some minor flooding and some receding shorelines. But this tsunami is being described as a wraparound wave. Because of this, Governor Josh Green urged caution during his press conference early this morning, saying bigger waves could come later.
You can expect a tsunami wave to hit the state, and it will not just hit one beach. It will wrap around the islands very likely, therefore causing a wave in Hilo, in Kona, and Kauai, and on Maui. You have to be safe, and please do not come back out until we give you the all clear.
In his latest update to the residents of Hawaii, Governor Green said he is hopeful that the dangerous conditions diminish over the next few hours. In our next half hour, we will explain the signs of a tsunami and share more exactly on how it all started. The TV6 and Fox UP mobile news app will keep you informed on breaking news in Upper Michigan. Sign up for push alerts on the settings page of the app. Make sure your breaking news alerts are turned on to get the latest news updates from your trusted newsroom. And while we are talking about this tsunami, have to briefly talk about what causes, first off, an earthquake. Typically, tsunamis form because of an earthquake, and earthquakes usually form based on some sort of strike within a fault line where we have tectonic plates coming together. So we usually have the normal fault line as well as the strike and slip and the reverse and thrust. Most tsunamis tend to occur with a reverse and thrust. And usually what happens is it disperses a huge amount of energy, which then pushes a big wall of water in all directions from the epicenter of where the earthquake occurred. And then you get this big wall of water that vertically rises and then moves on shore. There are some signs for the potential of a tsunami. And usually those include a very strong, long duration earthquake, all right? At least a magnitude of 7 or more. Most tsunamis occur with magnitudes of at least 8, all right? And it has to occur within 62 miles below the surface. Anything further is not typically more for a tsunami formation, usually less than 62 miles, all right? And you can potentially see some signs if you hear a very loud roar coming from the ocean, all right, and unusual oceanic behavior. And so that means fast rising flooding or a big giant wall of water coming on shore, of course, and then finally receding water, where we eventually see the sea floor exposed. So we're talking about being able to see coral reefs. We're talking about being able to see sea life, anything like fish or starfish or urchin or things like that. So coming up in the next half hour, we'll have the latest on the threat with the potential of the tsunami that's impacting several areas.
All right, thanks so much, Jennifer. We'll check back in soon for this coverage. This morning, a firefighter is recovering from minor injuries received while battling a house fire in Escanaba.
Escanaba Public Safety says the fire broke out at a two-story home on the 3100 block of 14th Avenue South. Firefighters got to the scene shortly after 7 o'clock last night. There, they saw the back of the house completely up in flames and close to spreading to the rest of the house and a detached garage. Firefighters were quickly able to get the flames under control and stop the spread to those areas. It took about 2.5 hours to fully put out the fire and leave the scene. Escanaba Public Safety has not released the cause of the fire at this time. Also in Escanaba, in the wake of the devastating fire at Moe's Pub on Monday, you can now help out everyone impacted. Yesterday, the Moe's Pub team said in a Facebook post that it is finding a path forward with help from neighbors. The post says a relief fund has been set up at UP State Bank. You can make a donation at any location to help the employees. The cause of this fire is still unknown, but we will update you as that information becomes available.
The Isperming Fire Department is asking for a new fire truck with the help of state funding. Last week, Representative Carl Bonac testified in front of a State House subcommittee for $1 million in state funding. The department is asking for $900,000 to cover the cost of the new truck. The truck will come equipped with a 1,000-gallon water tank. That is an upgrade from the current 500-gallon tank on the truck that would be replaced. That 20-year-old truck is one of 3 that the department uses. Isperming's assistant fire chief says the frame rails have rusted multiple times.
Any good bump could be that last bump we take with it. The winters with a lot of salt that gets thrown on the road, when these trucks are made, they're not specifically made for our weather conditions. When seconds count, we need all of that stuff to work properly and not fear we're not going to make it.
The state budget needs to be signed before fiscal year 2026 begins October 1st.
Happening now, UP Health System Marquette has found itself in the national spotlight. The U.S. News and World Report named UP Health System Marquette as one of the 2025-26 best hospitals. The UPHS Marquette Hospital ranked as a high-performing hospital for spinal fusion and pacemaker implantation. U.S. News evaluated more than 4,400 hospitals across 15 different adult specialties and 22 procedures and conditions. Only 1/3 of those hospitals earned an award. This is the highest merit a hospital can earn as part of U.S. News' Best Hospitals Procedures and Conditions ratings.
In Decision 2025 coverage, we continue to break down more of what you'll see on your ballot next month. This story focuses on families in the Negaunee School District. When you get to the voting booth, you'll see on your ballot a $2.5 million sinking fund millage for a period of 10 years. NPS Superintendent Andy Skews says the old sinking fund is coming to an end. So now they're proposing a replacement. The proposed sinking fund is similar to the last one, but will account for transportation needs of the schools, as well as building maintenance, updated security measures, and technology.
Having these funds, first of all, allows us to do some more long-term strategic planning to maintain, just like people maintain their homes or businesses, to make sure that the roof doesn't leak, that the heat works appropriately, that the lights come on.
You'll vote on the proposed sinking fund in a special election on August 5th.
Meanwhile, in Houghton County, the Copper Country Intermediate School District is looking to the future for its students in their careers. The district has been granted approval to buy new property in the city of Hancock. It will cost $18,000 for the property. The district plans to have its construction technology students build a house there. When it's done, the house will go up for sale. The district superintendent says he's not sure when construction will start.
We're not quite certain, depending on when this property closes and we can get it cleared, if this house will start in the fall. For sure, we're going to start a house in Houghton County in the fall. It's just a matter if it's going to be on this site or another site.
The CCISD hopes to expand in other ways too. This is where you come in. Next week, residents within the district will vote on a $45 million bond proposal. Revenue from that tax would help renovate and construct new buildings on the district's main campus.
This weekend, the Yellow Dog Watershed Preserve is inviting you to take part in the celebration of its efforts to protect the UP wilderness. On Saturday, the organization is having a 30-year anniversary party. Events included in the celebration are hiking, music, a potluck, a pig roast, and that's just to name a few. The group's communications director says this will be the biggest party that Preserve has ever hosted. He wants to show you, if you've never experienced Yellow Dog, just how special this land is.
It's up to us, we believe, as citizens, to treasure the places that the wild places that we have at our available to us, and we happen to have some of the most beautiful landscapes and waters in the country.
The all-day party begins with a hike at 2 o'clock on Saturday afternoon. The preserve is located at 605 County Road KCH near Big Bay. Turning now to First Alert Chief Meteorologist Jennifer Perez. Jennifer, we are already starting to feel more comfortable outside.
So the humidity has moved out, guys, and it feels so good out there this morning. There is a big change as well as in temperatures as compared to yesterday morning. It is significantly cooler this morning, especially across the central and the west end of the UP by at least 8 to 12 degrees. That's the temperature change in the last 24 hours. A lot of areas are in the 50s. It is 53 degrees over at Iron River and 57 at Manistee. Lawrence is at 54 and it's 63 degrees over at Munising. So there's still some spots along the shorelines where it's a little bit milder. Dew point temperatures finally down into the low to mid 50s, and that makes all of the difference. Here's a view over downtown Marquette. I'm showing you this because you see how it's a little bit kind of fuzzy looking out there. This is the haze that we're still dealing with this morning, and that's the big first alert. As you head out the door again, we continue with the haze. It'll be thick throughout the course of the morning, extending into the early afternoon, and that pushes south across the southern UP. We're looking at least at a moderate level to unhealthy levels at times for your air quality index today. We'll have when it finally clears out coming up in about 10 minutes.
Thanks a lot, Jennifer. We'll check back in with you soon. After the break, we're talking about a summer program that helps children with disabilities succeed later in life. Stay right here with your trusted news source.